Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy GD Counter, and today I'm going to be ranking all the bosses in A Hat in Time for my channel's 5-year anniversary. Yippee! I mean, I know I've never made a Hat in Time video before, but I think it's fitting that my 5-year video special is something I haven't done, because that was what I did for my 100 video special. So yeah, that's really about it. First, some ground rules. All bosses in the game will be counted, since I've fought all bosses in the game. The Death Wish bosses will be ranked on their post-nerf versions. That's it. Time for number 12. So at number 12 we have the Barrel Battle. This is the tutorial fight of the game, so I guess it makes sense why it's the worst, but like, it's boring. It's just 4 Mafia goons with, I think, more health, because I'm pretty sure they only take 3 hits plus a homing attack to be defeated. But, yeah, it's just a boring fight, TBH. Literally said TBH, what the hell. But, anyways, yeah, this fight's boring. It's just 4 Mafia goons, and during the fight, the guy on the top, he'll throw barrels down, but that's it. He'll just throw some barrels down. Some loop around the arena, some just bounce on the arena and then bounce off, and then after that he'll come down and try and fight you yourself. Himself. Yeah, he's boring. He has the most health out of any Mafia goon, I guess. Look, I don't know. This fight is just so boring and bland and basic. I can't rank it any higher. I guess since it's the tutorial boss, it gets off the hook, but I just think it's honestly really, really boring. At number 11, we have the Meowjima secret boss in Nyakuzu Metro. I rank this boss higher than the Barrel Battle because I think it's a cool little secret. It's honestly kind of difficult too, but because when they're attacking, for some reason they're just completely invulnerable to being hit, and also they can't be homing attacked, which is kind of weird. They're basically just normal cat enemies, but they take more hits to be defeated. That's really it for the fight. It's a cool Easter egg, but other than that, I don't really think it's deserving of ranking any higher, especially since you don't even get anything from defeating it. I guess the accomplishment of defeating this boss, yeah, I don't know. At number 10, we have the first chapter boss of the game, the Mafia boss. I genuinely think that this is an amazing first boss, as long as you don't count Barrel Battle as the first boss. His attacks seem really difficult to dodge as a first-time player, but honestly, they're really not that bad. I genuinely think that this guy, he's an amazing first boss. Also, take a listen to his music. Yeah, that's a recurring theme in this game. The boss themes and just the music in general is just absolutely fire. Anyways, Mafia boss is genuinely a really amazing tutorial boss. In his first phase, he only has 2 attacks. He's 3 actually. A spin attack, which you have to homing attack him. Supercharge, which you have to jump over and then hit him afterwards. And then he can also go into the background and summon sandbags to fall down. Also, in the future phases, he can do the same attack, but he also has a Mafia goon run across the stage. He just did that, actually. Anyways, and in the second phase, he also gains the new attack he's doing right now. He throws his weird cleaver things, whatever they are, and then hits pounds the floor, and you have to hit him afterwards. After like 3 hits in each phase, he goes berserk, and he goes to the next phase. I think he takes like 9 hits to be defeated, and in this third phase, he gains 2 new attacks, technically 3. The Mafia Ball, which you can see right now, he stands on top of a giant Mafia Ball, and you have to go onto this gap, and then whilst it's rolling, you have to, like, jump up on the ball. It's kind of confusing, but, like, you have to go in the gap, and then jump up on there, and then you got to hit Mafia Boss whilst he's on the ball. The other attack is Ultra Charge and Mega Charge, which is basically just, Super Charge, but a bit harder, kind of. Other than that, that's really it for Mafia Boss. He may be a very simple fight, but for a first boss, he is genuinely an amazing first impression. I mean, not... Although I guess he's technically a second impression because Barrel Battle comes before him. Honestly, we're just going to ignore Barrel Battle for the rest of this video because Barrel Battle is a really lame fight that honestly shouldn't exist. This should have been the tutorial boss, and I'm going to die on that hill. And I'm going to stand on that hill until the day I die. That's not the thing, is it? Hehe. Alright, number 9, we have the final boss of the game, Mustache Girl. This might confuse a lot of people. Mustache Girl is the final boss, and it's at number 9 out of 12? Well, let me explain myself. First of all, I knew from previous bosses in the game that this boss would live up to being an amazing finale to A Hat in Time, and it did. But my main issue with this fight is that I don't think it did enough. Like, as you can see in the first phase, it's really not that complex. There is a second phase, though, which makes the fight a lot more harder. That was really stupid. But yeah, you get what I mean. And I think the fight is great, but I just don't think it did enough. The attacks are cool, and other stuff like that is cool, but again, don't think it did enough. It was an amazing finale, but I don't think she can rank any higher. But I might as well show the second phase so I can actually talk about the attack. So, when the second phase starts, you can obviously see timepieces falling from the sky. And now, you get sent to Bitrate Zone. Destroyer of bitrates, whatever. And, yeah, she has quite a few attacks in this phase. I guess she actually technically has 5 phases. And we already showed phase 1. Phase 2 is pretty simple. She gains 2 new attacks. A giant laser, which she, for some reason, just stands in place while shooting it. Alright, you do you. And also an attack where she flies up in the sky and shoots down a bunch of timepieces. The third phase, she becomes impossible to hit. So the conductor, as well as a bunch of mafia goons, create a mafia ball, and you have to knock into Mustache Girl. She actually loses her punch, like teleport punch attack during this phase, but she does gain it back in the 4th and 5th phase. I might as well talk about those. In the 4th phase, she gets a shield, and you have to use the bomb apples from Snatcher. Snatcher creates W Snatcher. Yeah, he creates bomb apples, and then you basically have to chuck the bomb apples at Mustache Girl at the right time to get rid of her shield. And she regains the attack to go on the ground and then burst up. And she gains a new attack to pound the floor, creating shockwaves. And in the 5th phase, basically she just has every attack from the first phase, but it's a lot more chaotic with them being harder to dodge and having some new music, and also it's like they're really insane. There's like falling timepieces from the sky. This may sound genuinely insane and like impossible to beat, but you get actually infinite you get infinite heart ponds during the 5th phase, so even if you get hit, it doesn't matter. That's also one of the reasons why this fight is only number 9 in the 5th phase. It's a cool story moment, but it's way too easy because you get infinite heart ponds. And Mustache Girl EX fixes this issue, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Anyways, that's enough talking about Mustache Girl. Great finale, genuinely thought it was amazing, but I can't rank it higher than number 9 because I don't think it did enough. Okay, first of all, I know the footage shows Conductor. I never actually mentioned, but the footage is from a YouTuber called @Levas_Gaming. So, yeah, that's all the footage used in this video. I actually thought DJ Grooves instead of Conductor. But their fights are exactly the same, except for like some voice line differences and arena differences, and basically just nothing about the fight is different, but just like voice lines and the arena is different. So I don't bring any confusion, I'm just going to say the conductor because that's in the footage, and I don't want any little loser babies confusing the conductor with DJ Grooves. Anyways, the conductor has quite a few phases like Mustache Girl, and also I genuinely just think his fight is just really fun. It's probably one of the more chaotic fights in the base game, but it's just fun. Like, honestly, in his first phase, he can go from the rafters and jump down. He can use a disco ball crashing into the ground, causing shockwave stun if you don't jump, and causing a shockwave. He can summon stage lights to fall from the sky and then jump at you. And I think that's everything he can do in the first phase. I don't really remember, but it doesn't really matter. In the second phase, he brings out the knives! And he has 2 attacks with them. He'll charge at you with a knife, and he can also just repeatedly stab forward, which you have to homing attack him on. Unless you take damage from it, then you can use your umbrella or baseball bat, depending on which weapon you have. Oh, what was I saying? And also, he has an update of the disco ball attack, where he just delays it a ton. It's kind of funny, honestly. We're just going to skip to the third phase, because I have a feeling that this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Alright, third phase. He only gains 1 new attack in this phase, but he does update some of the old attacks. He has this car attack, which you can actually choose by camping in the bottom left-hand corner. But, yeah, it's not that bad. And for the knife and disco ball attack, he creates copies so there's more knives and disco balls to actually dodge. Genuinely, it's really cool. It's not that hard, but it's cool. Oh yeah, also, this was the boss that got me the One Punch trophy on PlayStation, which requires you to be a boss with the One Hit Hero badge equipped. Just thought I'd bring that up. But, yeah, you just gotta continue attacking him during this phase to get him to the 4th phase. He's at the peak of his fight, and then this happens. Yep, he has a heart-to-heart in the middle of an intense boss fight. How cool is that? He basically just says how timepieces fell from the sky since you arrived on the planet, and then he wants one so that he can get the trophy back that he lost, or in DJ Grooves' case, so he can get all the trophies back that he lost. Doesn't matter what option you choose, you still advance to the 4th phase. This is what. Yep, you heard him right. This crazy freak just straight up straps a bomb to your chest. He gains a new attack. You only have 80 seconds to defeat him, and it may seem undoable. Let's talk about the attacks first. He can run around the arena, which isn't even an attack. He can throw swords at you, and he can go up to the rafters, throw swords at you, and then jump down, which is really cool, and I like that. He can also have stage lights fall, but I don't really know if that's exclusive to the X fight. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yeah. You only have 80 seconds until you go kaboom. And it looks like all hope is lost. You can't defeat this guy. Then, either DJ Grooves or the conductor appear in the audience, and they say they were going to defuse the bomb. You have to hit him 5 times to have them be shown in the audience, and then you have to hit them another 5 times for the diffuser to be made. Other than that, you just gotta keep dodging. You just gotta keep dodging his attacks and hitting him until eventually the diffuser is made and you can defuse the bomb before going kaboom. Oh, you want me to talk about the final phase? It's basically just bringing back all attacks from the 2nd and 1st phase, and also you're being chased by a few knife owls. I guess that's cool. Who cares? But yeah. Oh yeah, the diffuser is a giant pair of scissors. Oh, that was funny. Oh yeah, this is a genuinely epic boss fight, even for the 2nd chapter boss. Whew, I spent a long time yapping about this boss, didn't I? That just goes to show how good these boss fights are. Now, spoiler alert for the rest of the list, but pretty much all the Death Wish bosses take up the top 5, except for one. Say it with me, folks. Snatcher EX Plus. Okay, there's nothing wrong with this fight. But first of all, I want to talk about how lazy this fight is. They made Snatcher again. Yeah, there was base Snatcher, then there's Snatcher EX, and they just did it again for the final boss of the boss rush. Why? Why didn't they just make their own original Death Wish boss? Or, I don't know, maybe a harder version of Toilet of Doom at the end. That would be funny. But yeah. Also, I know I've never said this on the channel before, but I will forever be ticked off by the fact that they didn't give Toilet of Doom a Death Wish. It's for an EX version in Death Wish, even though he deserved it. Anyways, Snatcher EX Plus is basically just Snatcher EX, but a bit harder. During some attacks, he can drop stage lights and purple timepieces, and that's literally it. I'm pretty sure that's just it. Nothing else about this fight has changed, except for the attack where he teleports around the arena. Instead of creating waves when he does that, he creates saw blades that you have to jump over. This fight also isn't hard in the slightest. I know it looks really insane, but with my skill level, it's just not hard anymore. In fact, I beat it second try. It kind of sting when I lost to him the first time. But yeah, that's basically it for the fight. I'm not going to talk about his attacks because they're the exact same as Snatcher EX Plus with some extra falling shiz during some of the attacks. But yeah, this fight just kind of exists. I don't dislike it, which is kind of weird considering how negatively I've been talking about this boss fight. But truth be told, I like Snatcher EX Plus. But I can't rank him any higher than number 7 because of how lazy he is and just being disappointingly easy. At number 6, just outside the top 5, we have Snatcher. Why did I say that? Anyways, Snatcher is one of the fan favorite characters in the game and one of the fan favorite boss fights. He's an amazing boss fight, but he can't rank at number 5. Or in the top 5, more like. He's a great fight, but he can't rank higher than this. Because he's false threat. That's why he doesn't rank higher. Wow, that sounded odd. Let me explain. So, during chapter 3, Snatcher is built up as this really scary, honestly just terrifying ghost thing. What even is Snatcher? I know he's a ghost, but what is that on his neck? Anyways, yeah, he's just built up as this giant monstrosity, and then you fight him, and then you're like, oh my god, this is going to be so hard and concerning. Then he's just not that hard. Maybe I'm just too good at the game. But I beat this guy on my first try, and spoiler alert, the only base game boss I actually died on was Mustache Girl, but that's because I had a bit of a skill issue back then. I do think this fight has some great attacks. He can use lasers, he can throw blue potions, and I also like the fact that the way to make him damageable is to colour it in blue, because when all the other bosses are vulnerable, they turn blue. So if you colour him blue with a blue potion, he's vulnerable because, you know, he's blue, and I think that's funny. You can use his minions during one attack. I was talking about those, wasn't I? He can teleport around the arena, creating waves. It's just a great fight overall. But his false threat, he's really not that hard, and that is such a shame. Why did the footage cut? But yeah, just the fact that he's not that hard, it's just so disappointing. Oh yeah, he can also use red beams during this attack, and I think that's cool. Also, he has an attack that you're seeing right now, which actually isn't in either Snatcher X or Snatcher X Plus. He just winks, and then you've got to hit the Snatcher on the side of the eye that he winked. Basically, if he winks in the left eye, hit the left Snatcher. If he winks in the right eye, hit the right Snatcher. There we go. That was a way better way of explaining it. But yeah, Snatcher also only takes 5 hits to be defeated, which I guess makes sense considering only 2 attacks make him vulnerable. But if you know what you're doing, and I did, he's just a joke, honestly. Mate, swing your umbrella. Also, I'm pretty sure he can actually take 2 hits of damage at a time, like that just happened. But yeah. Other than that, this fight is an amazing fight, but due to false threat, it has to rank here. Ranking at number 5 is the Toilet of Doom. This also means that this is my favourite boss in the base game. Why? Basically, it's a really creative fight, and it doesn't have false threat unlike Snatcher, so it's allowed to be in the top 5. He has some really creative attacks. First of all, he uses Hookshot and the Bomb Apples during this fight really well and really creatively. This is the only fight to extensively use Bomb Apples, and no, I'm not counting Phase 4 in the Mustache Girl fight, or Mustache Girl EX. But yeah, this is genuinely a great boss fight. As you can see, you can like pound the ground, you have to use Hookshot to hit him during this, you can send cages flying across the arena. He's not difficult, but like he doesn't look difficult, so of course it's not going to be an issue. He can also he can summon bubbles. He can like pound the middle of the arena. He can summon bubbles that you have to use the hookshot thing around. You got to hit the white bubble with the bomb apple in it, and then afterwards you got to throw the bomb apple at the Toilet of Doom, and it's just really cool. I really like how creative they went with this fight. They knew it was a toilet, knew people wouldn't take it seriously, and then just went along with it. And I thought that was just really cool. The devs are really good at making boss fights, just genuinely. Sucks there are so little of them in the game. There's really only the 5 Death Wish bosses, and then the 4 chapter bosses, and this guy, because I'm not really, because again, I'm not a big fan of Barrel Battle or the Naojima secret boss. But yeah, this fight is great and just overall amazingly creative. Oh yeah, the 3rd phase. I forgot to talk about it. Best phase in the fight though. First of all, let's talk about his most notable attack. He can create this massive bomb apple that insta-kills you if you don't get to the top of it and hit the Toilet of Doom. The timer is quite generous, but it's still quite threatening. And again, I am still salty at the fact that he didn't get a harder version. I guess the fact that he's a mini boss, it just sucky. Anyways, yeah, he can pound the ground multiple times. He's just amazing. Although it does kind of suck that you don't get to use Hookshot for the rest of the fight during the 1st phase, but I don't really care. I do not care. Other than that, the Toilet of Doom is an amazing and creative fight that definitely deserves to be in the top 5 and definitely deserves the Death Wish version. Seriously, any Hat in Time modders, if you're watching this video, please, please, please make a mod that can be downloaded on PlayStation, because that's how I play a Hat in Time. And it's basically a harder version of Toilet of Doom, because this fight really, really deserved it. And I'm going to die on that hill. Oh wait, fight's over. Never mind. At number 4, we have Mafia Boss EX. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, but the Death Wish footage is from a YouTube channel called Gelot. So thanks to Gelot. Actually, I didn't ask to use this footage, I just used it. Is that illegal? Anyways, Mafia Boss EX is the first Deathwish boss, and my god, again, he's an amazing first impression. His attacks are harder, but they don't feel absurdly hard. Oh yeah, I'm not going to be ranking any of the bonuses for the fight, just thought I'd mention that. But I'm not really the biggest fan of the bonuses in this fight, but not bad, but they're just kind of, god, I'm talking too fast. But just kind of, The don't miss your cue to attack is an okay bonus. You'd probably do that accidentally. Win with one hit hero though. What were they thinking? Okay, it wasn't that bad. I made it in like 10 tries, but like honestly. And hey, wasn't as bad as some other one hit hero bonuses. 10 seconds to self-destruct. Wound up windmill. Anyways, yeah. This boss is just amazing. You can only some of his attacks are only buffed a little bit, like making them faster, and the supercharged attack, the balls are just from the start. But yeah, it's just an amazing and just really fun fight. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just harder Mafia Boss, but it's just so fun. It's an amazing first impression for Deathwish bosses, and yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, other than I don't know. It's just really cool. I'm just repeating myself. I'm done. Number 3, we have Mustache Girl EX. I'm skipping the first phase. It's not important. This is the hardest boss in the game, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people would say, it's Snatcher EX Plus. And I'm like, no, it's not. First of all, Mustache Girl EX's bonuses, I'll get them out of the way, even because I feel like I want to mention them. Spend less than 3 minutes in the hyper zone is okay, and don't use your hat abilities is okay. May or may not have had an opinion on these bonuses if I didn't get them when I first beat this boss. Yeah, this was the only Deathwish level where I got all bonuses on my first completion of the level. Or the Deathwish, because I don't really like saying level anymore. It's boring. Anyways, the Mustache Girl EX fight is bullet hell, to say the least. The timepiece throwing attack happens a lot more. The laser attack, she actually moves the laser. A teleport attack is faster. She takes more hits to be defeated, I think. But overall, yeah, I think this fight is just overall really fun fight. The phases are harder. What am I saying? It's just harder Mustache Girl, alright? You get the point. Also, purple timepieces, like during the you know, when the attack she throws timepieces down, that attack's harder. Yeah, she summons timepieces like that, as you're seeing on screen right now in some attacks. It makes attacks harder and stuff. Yeah, it's fun. God, what am I saying? Oh, the 5th phase. I need to talk about that right now. Let's skip to it. There we are. The 5th phase. This phase is Bullet Hell, Death and Torment. Sorry for the disturbance. Anyways, this phase is pain, torture, agony, and bullet hell all wrapped up into one little bundle. It is genuinely archaic. Like, what are you seeing at this point? This is not a phase. This is bullet hell, the boss fight, genuinely. But I do love this 5th phase. I've only actually lost to it once, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, this boss fight is definitely the hardest in the game. At least baseline. And I don't even want to think about pre-nerf Mustache Girl EX. Not at all. No siree. Nuh-uh. Oh wow, that was perfect. So at number 2, we have my favourite version of Snatcher. We have Snatcher EX from Breaching the Contract. And I'm going to talk extensively about this fight. First of all, the beam attack creates waves, which are genuinely hard to dodge, especially in the second phase where he overuses the attack. Not only overuses it, but like he has a ton of, well, whenever he does use it, he has a ton of lasers and has a ton of waves and it feels undodgeable. That's my only issue with the fight, which is the reason why it's not number 1. Anyways, yeah, it's just overall a really cool fight. Also, I did not mention the animation Snatcher does when summoning lasers. It's really funny. Oh yeah, the minions also chase after you in Snatcher X and Snatcher X Plus. Kinda never thought of that. But yeah, the first phase isn't anything notable other than the added waves. But the second phase, however, is kind of notable. Well, first of all, he can actually summon blue potions during the second phase. Same for Snatcher X Plus. But as I said, Snatcher X Plus is just this, but a bit harder. Anyways, if the attack we're seeing on screen right now, after it's over, he actually summons a blue potion, which you can use to do extra damage. That's actually one of the bonuses. Don't attack me, only throw blue potions. That is actually what the game says. I am not telling you to not attack me, but don't do that. Please. Thank you. Anyways, you can only throw blue potions, and you really need good luck for this bonus. The other bonus is to not have your HP land at 1, and I am so thankful that that was the first bonus instead of win with one-hit hero. I could barely defeat Mafia Boss EX with one-hit hero, let alone Snatcher EX. You said it took you 10 attempts to beat Mafia Boss EX with one-hit hero. Shut up! Anyways, yeah, this fight is just great. Oh yeah, the red beam attack. I never really talked about it. He uses red beams and they wrap around the arena really quick, and it's just really cool and fun and stuff. And honestly, you're seeing it on screen right now. Yeah, it's just a fun fight. The only reason it's not number 1 is because it's not creative enough to rank at number 1. Unlike who is at number 1. And from Process of Extermination, you know who is at number 1. Well, no use stalling it anymore. My number 1 favourite boss in A Hat in Time is DJ Grooves EX and Conductor EX. This fight is chaos and amazingness packed into one little baggage, and it's amazing. Honestly, this fight is one of the hardest ones in the game. It's Death Rush, but like, it's so extremely fun. Wasn't it? Yeah, just the attacks. They do a ton more of it. It's just it's just chaos. It's like Mustache Girl EX, but not as chaotic, but chaotic enough for it to actually feel fun and endearing. They have a ton of faster attacks. They use a ton more knives. They use a ton more disco balls. They're just really fun overall. They're really quick during this fight, especially with phase transitions. Like, see, they only took like 3 hits for them to transition phase. Oh yeah, bonuses. I think this boss does have one of the worst bonuses. The worst bonus out of any boss level in Death Wish. It's only attack one direction until the very end. I don't like that bonus, but the other bonus is fun. Yeah. Also, since they're both attacking you, no one defuses the bomb. But luckily, you have 190 seconds to beat these guys when the bomb gets strapped to your chest instead of 80 seconds. And yeah, this is genuinely an amazing fight, and honestly, I don't even want to know what would happen if it wasn't made like this. That made no sense. Anyways, yeah, this fight is just an amazing fight. And honestly, I could probably beat this one pre-nerf. Same with most of the other bosses, to be honest, except for maybe Mustache Girl EX and maybe Snatcher X Plus. But yeah, these little bumbling idiots, they're so fun to fight, and they're just an amazing boss fight. It's an amazing boss fight. And I don't have to explain the attacks. They're just faster, they're more fun. Also, you have 10 knife hours following you instead of just 4 in the original fight. But yeah, this is also the only Death Wish boss I actually beat hitless, aside from Mafia boss, since, again, I got every stamp in Death Wish, except for that one camera candle, which isn't actually in, yeah, the camera candle isn't actually in PlayStation versions, but I think it's because you can't use the camera badge properly on PlayStation or console versions of A Hat in Time. So they had to just straight up remove that candle. The candle wouldn't have even been hard anyway. It's just take pictures using the camera badge. But yeah, this is an amazing fight, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So for all the reasons that I just mentioned, DJ Groovzy X and Conductor EX is my favourite boss in A Hat in Time. The end.